I've had a lot of questions about framing, the backgrounds, the rule of thirds, and stuff like that. Let's cover that now. Let me just get this out of the way first. I know I've posted 4 videos or something, and my videos have looked really strange. That's because I moved, as I said in a couple other videos, I moved from Oregon all the way to Florida. Oregon, I won't go into that. So I was trying to get this studio correct like I had it set up in Oregon. And I did left, right, this way, that, and I finally figured out how to set it up right. And it was really simple once I figured it out because I was doing everything wrong. And I finally was smart, and I watched my own video on how to set up your studio. So let's get into what this video is about. Now this subject about framing, the rule of thirds and stuff like that, I have over at Basic Filmmaker University. I thought, well, you'd have to take the course to be able to see it, and this is really important basic data, so I'm making a video now about that same stuff. First of all, shooting video. It doesn't matter if you have a phone or you have like $5,000 worth of equipment. When you're shooting a video, the most important thing you can do for this type of video is this right here. You'll notice how I'm framed. I'm framed with like over here, I have this much room, over here, I have this much room up there, and I have this much room down here. I'm not like, see, that was kind of creepy. I'm not totally overbearing. I like have this thing set up like this, and I'm not like this. What you want to do with your videos is you want to have a little headroom. Headroom is this up here. It's about just a little bit of headroom up top, and then you come down and you're about maybe, I don't know, maybe waist, maybe down to the belt, maybe a little above the belt. And what that does is it frames you perfectly in the frame here, so you can talk and you can move your hands around and you don't have this huge face in you. You don't have something way back there that you can't see. So look, the camera only sees what's in this frame. It doesn't see what's outside of the frame. It doesn't see all the, not that I have all this stuff, it doesn't see all the junk over there that's all whatever. It doesn't see all the stuff over here. It doesn't see, you know, where the dog over there is running around and stuff. It doesn't see all this stuff sitting over here behind me, way over that way. It doesn't see all that stuff. The camera only sees this right there. Only in that 16, that's 9, that's 16. Only in a 16 by 9 area does the camera see anything. Nothing else outside of it, you don't need to worry about it. Now, that doesn't mean you should like clean up your freaking space. I like to keep a very, very clean space where I'm filming and everything outside of it, because I don't like having all this stuff go on, because it grabs my attention like this, ow, and it just pulls me over. I have this thing and that's sitting over here, and this is falling down, and oh, I need to fix that thing. I have a very clean space so I can come here and concentrate on one and only one thing when I'm filming, and that is filming. Here's another thing about filming you may have seen when people are shooting films or something like that. You'll see these guys sitting there doing like this, or these girls sitting here doing like this, and they're looking like this, and you're like, oh, well, you're trying to be cool and look like a filmmaker. No, there's a purpose for that. They're holding their hands like this. Ready? Zoop. Do it again. Zoop. You hold your hands like this, and you hold it like this on what you're going to film. The location or the street scene or whatever, and you just hold it where you think the camera will be, and what you see in between this square is everything that will be in the frame. So the guy who's filming this in the street scene and the light hitting the lady coming in and everything else, he doesn't care about this stuff over here. He doesn't care about the old broken car over here. He's not going to handle it. He's just going to handle the things that are in the frame that the viewer sees, and you should do the same thing. So the next time you decide to film something, take a look, take a shot, or film a little bit of it, and worry about what's in the frame. Don't worry about everything else, just to start. Just clean up what's outside of the frame. Start like this if you want to, and clean everything outside of the frame so it's just you and the frame. Now you'll notice how I'm set up. I'm in frame and I'm in the middle like this. You don't always want to do that. In fact, I suggest you should move just a little bit to the right or left, like this. Right there. Why would I move here? If you're doing courses or even if you're doing videos or stuff, it leaves this area over here, it leaves for like cards to come in or titles or things you want to say or something can come in this area and you're not bumping into it. Like I'm over here and all of a sudden this thing comes in and then it bounces me off. So you just come over here and you stand right about there. It's thirds. There's a third this way. Cut that into thirds. 1, 2, 3. You cut this into thirds. 1, 2, 3. And that line right there, boop, boop, is where generally where you have your head and your eyeballs. That's a rule of thirds. If you do that, your videos will look a lot better, come across a lot better, and no one's gonna notice and go, hey, you like have space over here. It's not that much space. I mean, let's take my hands and do this. We're literally talking about that much space. No one's gonna notice that. So use the rule of thirds when you go to film your videos. I think you'd be really glad you did. Oh, don't forget something. I did this before too when I made a video. So I was standing over here and then I moved over here to do the correct thing with the rule of thirds. I almost forgot to move the microphone over. So if you do this, also remember if you're using a microphone like this to move the microphone over so you don't look up after filming for, 10 minutes, an hour or whatever and find that the microphone was over here, because that'll just make you want to punch yourself in the face. So the next thing you should do after you've got yourself set up is you should take a look in the background. What's back there? Do you have a bunch of junk back there? You have like boxes sitting back there. You have, whatever, your old presents sitting back there still from Christmas or whatever it is. You should also clean it up and get it out. Now, right now I'm purposely not having anything in the background, but you can put something in the background to make it more interesting. Like let's say I did this. Yeah, way back there. If I set this up, remember that's really far back. If I set this bass guitar or a couple of bass guitars or something back there, it would make that much more interesting to look at in the background while I'm talking. Now, because it's so far back, it's out of focus. So it's not like it's sitting right here and you're like, what's this guy doing with a bass guitar on his face? It's back there and it's out of focus. Let me set this down. So then what you could do is you can use what I call cards or move-ins or whatever. There's a million names for it and everybody says it wrong. I'm just gonna call them cards. I can have these cards come in, like let's have a card come in this way, zoop. And then I have a card come in and it says things. It like says what's next or gives tips or tricks, or maybe it clarifies what I'm saying, asks them to subscribe, whatever. It just has a bunch of stuff and then it goes out. Zoop. Because I took that and the way I'm sitting here as a third, I'm on the third, when the card comes in, it doesn't hit me, it doesn't bounce into me, and it doesn't interfere with what I'm talking about or something like that. If I'm standing over here and here comes the card, then it just looks weird or it covers you up, or your card has to be really small and you can't fit the text in there, and that just will drive you crazy. And by the way, one of the ways I set this up, I didn't just have the background just sitting there and a bunch of stuff. I have that brick wall sitting back there, which the camera's kind of far away and it's kind of blurry. That is not a brick wall. That's actually a cloth from, I think the company is Kate. K-A-T-E, Kate. And they make all these backgrounds, like hundreds of backgrounds up on Amazon. I'll give you a link below where you can go check it out. It looks really good. It looks like the real thing. If you have to take down your background a lot and set it back up, boy, that makes it so easy. But if not, just set up your background like that and just keep it fixed and you're good to go. So depending on the channel you're doing, like if you're doing guitars, like put guitars back up there, or you're doing, I don't know, whatever you're doing, just put something up there to represent it, or just put anything up there. Put like a vase of flowers or something that just makes it look good and it doesn't look so sterile like you're sitting in the nothing on planet whatever. That was really weird. Now again, it doesn't matter what you use, your phone, or you're using a camera or whatever. Once you do set up and figure out where you're gonna stand, this way and that way, and forward and backward, right about there, then take some tape, some blue tape that isn't, you know, the stuff that you can like pull back off. Take some blue tape and put it on the floor. That's what I have. I have a mark right here where I know to stand, both this way and this way. I know where to stand because I have this tape on the floor. So first, set up your camera, figure out where you're gonna put your camera, how far away, stuff like that. Clean up the space around you so there isn't this junk around. Go ahead and put something in here that maybe is interesting way in the background, or I don't know, maybe you have a wall back there, you hang some kind of picture or whatever you want. Get your microphone set up properly to where it should be, like close to the mouth, by the way. These people who like put their microphone like 5-10 feet away, it's always gonna sound bad. You want this mic like 6, maybe 7, 8, 10 at the max, 12 inches at the max away, but you want it like close. You want it like that far away, like 12 inches at the most. And then just start making your videos. Now you've done all that stuff. You've set up everything in the background, everything else. No one's gonna come along, with a few exceptions, and say, wow, you have an awesome background, you're framed properly, I like how you're using the rule of thirds, I like how, you know, it's blurry back there, you're framed this way and that way properly and everything else. No one's gonna say that. And that's the point. Their attention is gonna be where it should be, on you, the subject, or the thing you're showing on the screen. If you're more interested in having a YouTube channel and how to manage it and like everything you ever wanted to know about YouTube, you could go over to Basic Filmmaker University. I do have a course over there if you're interested in that. If you're not, then you're not. I hope that helps. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. This does not work. This does not work. Boom! Talk to them like confidence. Boom!